लिखा वही है। हम्म। आवाज नहीं आ रही।
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. काफी पार्टिसिपेंट्स अभी भी जुड़ रहे हैं। मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा सभी से कि कृपया अपना वीडियो ऑन करें तो अच्छा लगेगा। डॉक्टर नेहा वर्मा, आर यू हियर? डॉक्टर नेहा वर्मा आप जुड़ चुके हैं। मैं उनका
Hello, yes, sir, I'm here.
ओके मैम, शुड वी स्टार्ट नाउ?
Uh, can you please give me a 5 minutes?
नो प्रॉब्लम, नो प्रॉब्लम। Now we have a lot of procedure to start. I am asking only the permission to start now. You
Yes,
have-
sure, sir, sure, definitely.
Okay.
No need for the permission, sir. You can just order.
Okay,
Then now the session will be started.
Anita Mehta, please start.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Excuse
Good
me,
afternoon to all respected dignitaries, esteemed academicians, and research scholars. On behalf of the Department of Education, Mahavir University, Meerut, in collaboration with the PACE India, I extend a warm welcome to everyone present today as we move into day 3 of our 10 days national seminar on research methodology in humanities and social sciences. As the seminar progresses, today's session builds upon our previous discussions and focuses on strengthening research engagement through experience based insights and scholarly practice. This is Anita Mehta, a PhD research scholar from Mahavir University, Meerut, and I shall be moderating today's academic session. Before we begin, I request everyone to kindly keep your mics muted for the smooth functioning of the seminar. Let us now proceed with the formal academic program. To begin today's session on a reverential note, I request everyone to join us in the Saraswati Vandana, seeking divine blessings for wisdom, clarity of thought, and academic excellence.
शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ।
हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ। हे शारदे
तू स्वर की देवी, ये संगीत तुझसे, हर शब्द तेरा, हर गीत तुझसे।
तू स्वर की देवी, संगीत तुझसे, हर शब्द तेरा, हर गीत तुझसे।
हम हैं अकेले, हम हैं अधूरे, तेरी शरण में हमें प्यार दे माँ।
हम हैं अकेले, हम हैं अधूरे, तेरी शरण में हमें प्यार दे माँ। हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ। हे शारदे माँ। मुनियों ने समझी, गुणियों ने जानी, संतों की भाषा, आगम की वाणी।
मुनियों ने समझी, गुणियों ने जानी, संतों की भाषा, गम की वाणी।
हम भी तो समझे, हम भी तो जाने, विद्या का हमको अधिकार दे माँ।
हम भी तो समझे, हम भी तो जाने, विद्या का हमको अधिकार दे माँ।
हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ।
हे शारदे माँ। तू श्वेत वर्णी कमल पे विराजे, हाथों में वीणा, मुकुट सिर पे साजे।
तू श्वेत वर्णी कमल पे विराजे, हाथों में वीणा, मुकुट से पे साजे।
मन से हमारे मिटा दे अंधेरा, हमको उजाला का परिवार दे माँ।
मन से हमारे मिटा दे अंधेरा, हमको उजाला का परिवार दे माँ। हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ।
हे शारदे माँ।
It is always blissful to start a day with such a serene invocation. I now respectfully invite our Dean, Faculty of Education, Professor Dr. Shivpal Singh, to address the gathering and guide us with his words of encouragement. Shivpal sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Esteemed resource person of the day, Dr. Neha Verma, Honorable Chief Guest on the day, respected principal, faculty members, research scholars, participants, and dear colleagues. A very warm and respectful good afternoon to everyone present here. On behalf of the Faculty of Education, Mahavir University Meerut, in collaboration with the Principals Association of College of Education, PACE India, it is my proud privilege to welcome you all to the third day of the 10-day National Seminar on Research Methodology in Humanities and Social Sciences. This seminar has been thoughtfully designed to strengthen research attitudes, methodology clarity, academic writing skills among teachers, research scholars, and academicians across the country. Each day of this seminar addresses a crucial component of the research process, and today's session holds a special importance of every emerging researcher. I feel extremely honored to welcome our esteemed resource person for the day, Dr. Neha Verma, who is serving as a Joint Director and Associate Professor, Center of Multidisciplinary Studies and Research, Swami Vivekanand Subhadhi University, Meerut. Dr. Neha Verma is a distinguished academician, researcher, and administrator with the rich experience in guiding research scholars and promoting quality research across the discipline. Her expertise in research planning, proposal development, and interdisciplinary studies make her the most appropriate resource person for today's topic. We are grateful to you, ma'am, for sparing your valuable time and sharing your expertise with us. Respected participants, the topic of today's session, how to write a good synopsis, is one of the most fundamental and decisive stage of the research journey. A synopsis is not merely a formal document, it is a blueprint of the research, the foundation upon which the entire study stands. A well-written synopsis reflects some points like the clarity of the researcher's thinking, the originality and relevance of the research problem, the feasibility and scientific approach of the proposed study. In academic and research institutions, the approval of the research proposal largely depends on the quality, structure, and coherence of the synopsis. A key aspect of a good synopsis should be clearly addresses the following components like number one, title of the study. The title must be precise, focused, and indicative of the research valuable and area of the study. Number two, introduction and background. It should be briefly describe the research context, significance of the topic, and the rationale behind selecting of the problem. Next point should be statement of the problem. The research problem must be clearly defined, specific, and researched. Next point should be a review of related literature. A concise review demonstrating the researcher's understanding of the extending study and identifying research gaps. Next point should be objective of the study. Clearly framed, achievable, and aligned with the research problem. That should be the objectives of the study. Next point should be research questions or hypotheses. It's depending on the nature of the study. These should be logically derived from the objectives. Next point should be research methodology. It including the research design, sample, tools, techniques of the data collection, and methods of the analysis. Next point should be scope and delimitations. It defining the boundaries and limitations of the proposal research. Next point should be significance of the study, explaining how the research will contribute to knowledge, practices, or policies. Next point should be a proposed chapterization and timeline, giving a structured plan for the completion of the research work. A strong synopsis not only convinces the research committee but also provides direction, confidence, and clarity to the researcher throughout the research process. Today's session will be undoubtedly help our research scholars and faculty members for the understanding how to conceptualize the research problem, how to structure a synopsis systematically, common mistakes to avoid while writing the synopsis, practical tips for getting a research proposal approved smoothly. So we are confident that Dr. Neha Verma's scholarly insights and practical guidance will make this session highly enriching and intellectually stimulating for all of us. Once again, I extend a hearty welcome to our respected resource person and all participants. I wish session should be a great success and meaningful learning. So thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your kind words and reinforcing the importance of today's topic. We now proceed to the core academic segment of today's session. I invite Malvika Dadu, a PhD research scholar, Mahavir University Merit, to kindly introduce our distinguished resource person for day 3, Dr. Neha, and briefly highlight her academic journey. So, Malvika.
Thank you, Anita. Thank you. Dr. Neha, who is the Joint Director and Associate Professor, Swami Vivekanand Subharti University, Meerut. Dr. Neha is an accomplished academician with over 15 years of experience in teaching, research, and academic leadership. She has made significant contributions to her field through scholarly publications, curriculum development, and active participation in national and international academic forums. She is the author of 2 books and has contributed to 20 book chapters, has published 25 research papers in reputed journals. Dr. Neha has also presented 25 research papers at various national and international conferences, reflecting her strong engagement with academic discourse and research dissemination. Her academic innovation includes 2 registered copyrights and the successful completion of 20 faculty development programs. She has also completed 2 Swayayam courses demonstrating her commitment to continuous learning and pedagogy excellence. Dr. Neha has been invited as a keynote speaker on 2 occasions and regularly participates in national and international conferences, contributing as a speaker, presenter, and attendee. So may I request Dr. Neha to please take over and enlighten us with her knowledge.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Malvika.
very much. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
So first of all, thank you very much for inviting me, and thank you so much for such a beautiful introduction. And thank you, Malvika. Thank you, Anita. that you explained so much and very beautifully. So, first of all, I would like to give my heartfelt thanks that you just invited me in a 10 days national seminar. It's such a wonderful platform through which you have connected the so many person. On day before yesterday, I was connected on the Friday. There was around 70 to 80 participants were there. So that's really great. And you have connected the very wonderful timing, that is 2 to 4. So each and everyone can join comfortably. That is really good. And such type of program should be done because we will be connected to each other. So I would like to say one thing, जो चलते रहते हैं उनके रास्ते खुद ब खुद बन जाते हैं. तो यही एक कोटेशन है जो हमेशा और सबके लिए एकदम फ्रूटफुल है कि जब हम चलते रहते हैं तो रास्ते खुद ब खुद बन जाते हैं. तो इसका मतलब यही है कि हमें आगे बढ़ते रहना चाहिए और ये तो एक जर्नी है हमारी एकेडमिक्स की. हमें इसी के साथ साथ रिसर्च भी और अपने एकेडमिक्स को भी और सबका साथ सबका विकास हमें एक साथ लेकर चलना चाहिए. सो विद दिस वर्ड्स आई वुड लाइक टू शेयर माय स्क्रीन. कैन आई शेयर?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sure. तो आज मैम आपका जो एंकरिंग वाला स्किल है वो भी देखने को मिलेगा.
थैंक यू सर.
अपने पार्टिसिपेंट्स को मैं बताना चाहता हूँ मैम बहुत अच्छी एंकर हैं.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind motivation. So my screen is visible.
यस मैम. आज का टॉपिक बहुत अच्छा है, खासकर उन रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स के लिए जो अभी इस पाइपलाइन में हैं, पीएचडी कर रहे हैं या करना चाह रहे हैं. मे भी आपने जो लोग कर रहे हैं वो हो सकता है सिनॉप्सिस सबमिट कर चुके हों, हो सकता है नहीं किया है. जिन्होंने नहीं किया है उनके लिए तो बहुत ही ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है, और जो कर चुके हैं उनके लिए हो सकता है और ज़्यादा नॉलेजेबल हो सकता है हमारा ये आज का टॉपिक.
So my screen is visible.
राइट मैम.
Just a minute, sir. Let me do some changes. Actually, it is. So today's topic is how to write a research synopsis. As sir told, there are lots of faculty members, lots of PhD scholars are connected here. So this is a very important topic. So I would like to discuss it with you all, that it would be very fruitful. Am I audible?
यस मैम.
Okay, sir. Okay. In between, I will ask, then please do let me know. Otherwise, the online classes is like that you are just talking with yourself.
मैम अपनी पीपीटी को इसको एनलार्ज कर लीजिए.
हाँ, मैं इसीलिए ही so that's why I'm asking that.
नाउ ट्राई.
Now fine.
अभी नहीं.
Is it now, sir?
नो मैम.
Now clear?
यस मैम. दिस इज नाउ.
So now your topic is how to write a research synopsis, which is really very important for all of us. As you know, there are students are connected and research scholars. They always think that how to write. You know that we just wanted to write, but somehow we feel such type of a problem that because we don't have any idea. Earlier, before doing a PhD, they don't know how to write. So here I would like to tell you that how it should be effective. Sometimes the students they try to write, but they left some point which is important but they don't know about that. So very first, we will discuss about the introduction part, review of literature, scientific gap, or it is known as the literary gap also, or you can say it is a literature research gap. Next, there is the objectives, research methodology, chapterization, bibliography. So before starting, I just wanted to discuss with you what is exactly synopsis is. So synopsis, it is a summary of a piece of writing, and synopsis is the gist of your planned project submitted for approval. You have any idea, you just wanted to do a work, but before doing a work, you will have to just prepare or plan something. What is your strategy? What is your roadmap? So, what is your roadmap? You will have to write it on a particular systematic way. That is known as synopsis. What you are just going to do, what is your plan? What is your idea? How will you take the step to achieve your target? You need to just think accordingly, and you need to include all these points in your synopsis. So ultimately, we can say it is an idea of your research for the quick analysis by the reviewer. In your RDC, when there are expert and some other your faculty are sitting over there, then your synopsis should be more effective than others. And how it will be? When you have some plans, you need to just incorporate all these ideas in your synopsis. So ultimately, synopsis, that is a summary of a piece of work which you are just going to do. And your synopsis should be like a gist. What is your planned project? What the actually you just wanted to say something about your plan, about your idea, about to do complete that work. And it should be the quickly adopted by the reviewers. Otherwise, they would ask you what you just want to do, how will you do. So it should be that effective like this. Now the point is how it will be. So we will discuss all these points, but firstly we need to understand that what is a synopsis is it actually. So it is a constructed manner that facilitates the reviewer to understand the research project at a glance. Whatever you just wanted to do, the reviewer or the faculty members or the people who are already present over there, they need to understand it at a glance only. What is your idea? Is it relevant for the research or it is not relevant for the research? Because when you are just going to do any research, then it should be reflected by your work. There must be some novelty. In research, we always just focus on the novelty. Novelty, that means whatever the idea you have, that should be novel from others. There must be something important. Why? You just wanted to do the work. And how your work will be contribute for the society. That is a very important question. You just wanted to do some research, but that is not contributed to your society, not it is contributed for the national level, then there is no meaning. Nowadays we are just working on the 17 SDG goals also. So whatever the title is picked by you, yeah, whatever the research topic you have, you need to align it with your SDG goals, because in this present era, the government is working on the SDG 17 goals. Any one of the goal you need to just follow, because when you will align with your research synopsis, with your research work, then the government would be able to give you some grant also. That would be your work will more and more effective. But you must know about all these topics before preparing your research work. When a student or the scholars, they don't know that what is the SDG goal, how can we align it with the national or the society or the international level, they cannot make the idea so effective. But when you have the idea that can we make it more and more effective, it will be good for the society. That means your idea can be brought, it will be benefit for the society. So here I just wanted to tell you the synopsis should be brief but should be precise. And it should be contributed to the national level, to the international level, or it should be good even for the society also. Okay. Next, Now, what will be the important points? What should be there in the synopsis? So, in the synopsis, there must be an introduction. There must be a review of literature, which is very important. Next, there must be a research methodology. There must be a data analysis and interpretation. And last one, there must be a conclusion. Conclusion, that means there must be an expected conclusion, not an exact conclusion. That means you just wanted to do some research, and this is a brief, concise summary of your work, what you are just going to do. So the conclusion part will come in your thesis. Here will be your expected conclusion. Okay. So firstly, we will discuss that what is the synopsis origin, where it comes. So this word comes from the Greek word that means sing together, or we can say a general view. So together, we just wanted to see something. So it is a brief summary or overview of a main points of a main project. And together we work. It is sing together because we just wanted to do in a project. So it is a brief sum. So synopsis means, that means sing together. So it is a short statement or a short summary of main points. You don't need to include the so many pages in your synopsis and all. You must think that it is a short statement. There must be a summary of your main points, which you are just going to uh, represent in your RDC. So in today's lecture, I will tell you that how would you write your synopsis, as well as I will try to discuss with you that how will you present your synopsis in your presentation effectively. What should be there in your presentation points. And it provides a brief overview, because when you are just going to present your presentation, then it must be clear, concise, and it should be meaningful, which is very important. For example, an academic synopsis outlines a thesis, objective, and the conclusion. When we are just talking any synopsis, then there must be some objective, some conclusions. After that, we can say that that is a synopsis. Suppose that there is a movie synopsis that will tell you the main story without spoiling everything. Suppose, for example, there is a synopsis of any movie, then it will tell you what is the main crux, what is the main gist. So the same is the academic synopsis, which is going to tell you what is the exact summary of that. Now the next point is purpose of the synopsis. Why do we need to just prepare a synopsis? Why can you prepare directly the thesis? Because we will have to do our work. We have a 3 years. Why? The need for the approval. Why there is a need for the synopsis? No, actually that is required. Why it is required? Because it provides a particular roadmap. What is you will have to do, right? Just say nowadays we are just going to suppose we are going to a Dehradun, or we are going Delhi. What we need to use our Google Map. So it will work like your Google Map. What you will have to do is step by step. So it provides a roadmap that align the research questions with literature, methodology, expected contribution, ensuring compliance with institutional standards. The purpose of the synopsis, just to check what is your roadmap. How will you align your title with your objective? How will you align your review of literature with your expected outcomes? Now the next is, now we will discuss all these points one by one. So these are the key points. Firstly, you will have to choose your title. What should be your title very first? Then abstract, what is the exact summary you can say. Then introduction, problem statement, objectives, review of literature, research methodology, timelines, and references. I will discuss on all these points one by one. So very first one is the introduction part. So how should be your introduction part? Firstly, you will have to choose your title. How should be your title, right? For choosing that title, it should be innovative. There must be some novelty, right? It should be aligned with the SDG goal, or it should be aligned with what the contribution you just wanted to do for the society, for the national level, for the international level, right? There's something new. You need to just understand this thing that your title must be innovative or the new. And when you just wanted to check your title, you need to just Google that it is under the plagiarism or not. Already the work has been done or that or not. You need to just apply before searching that title. Okay, before selecting that. Is it clear? You will have to just Google the title also. It is under the plagiarism or not, because where suppose that you have just finalized already the topic and you have prepared your synopsis, and finally you will able to know that already the one person is going to do that work. So you can just make changes initial stage when you are just going to choose your title. Is it clear? Okay, now the next is introduction part, which is very important. So preparing a synopsis, introduction part should become in 1, 2, or the 3 pages. And how it should be? How should be your introduction? Because this is a very important question as a point of the scholars. And even they don't know. They're just writing a introduction and continuously they're writing 2, 3, 5, or 10 pages. But what the part should be covered in the introduction? The introduction should be the 3, 4 pages, or you can say can be a 1 or 2 pages, which should be adequately introduce the topic with the significance of the topic. As I discussed with you, there must be a significance of the topic, and it should be relevant for the social, the national, or the international significance also. Clear? So your topic should be novel. Your topic should be adequately introduced with the topic with the significance of national, social, and international. And when you are just writing your introduction, there must be a proper citation. You know about the citation or the references? Whatever you are just going to write in your introduction part, it should be cited, or you need to give the references. Now the point is references. You need to add in a bracket, there is a name of an author and the year of the author, right? No need to make it the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why you did not to give any numbering? There is a one important major factor is there. You know why? Suppose that you have just given the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? In case you will have to adjust some more references in your synopsis, that means your order will be waste. Again, you will have to give your time and the proper attention on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s, right? No need to add that. You need to cite it with the bracket, author name, and the year. Okay? Is it clear? So give proper references for the material borrowed from the literature. Maybe that is from the websites, disclosed sources of information, or figure or tables, whatever it is. You need to mention the name of the author and the year of the author. If there are 2 authors, then how will you do that? If there are 2 authors, you need to give the surname of the authors. If there are more than 2 authors, you need to use et al. ETAL dot comma. Et al. Sometimes you see these things, but you don't know about this. So et al. Is used when there is a more than 2 authors. Clear? Next. So the introduction, what should be the page counted? There must be a topic introduction. There must be a proper references. There must be an author citation. As I told you, there must be an author name and the year. No need to give the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because it will be good for you. When you will come in the last in the bibliography, then you can add any references of any author. You can arrange that alphabetically order A, B, C, D accordingly. Okay. I will tell you when we will come to the next, the last one, the bibliography, I will tell you what it will be, right? Now the next is review of literature. So review of literature, it is a summary of research done by the others on the topic related to you. Whatever the title you have chosen in your work, you will have to just check what the work has been done already. Before selecting the title, you need to check it, how much research has done on this topic also. So it will be better for you to collect the review of literature. You will get the idea that how many of the author have done their work. So review of literature, that means whatever the work has been done in the past, you will have to cite it all that work. So it is a summary of the research done by the authors and the topic related to yours. So it contains 6 to 10 pages with minimum 100 references of at least 25% should be of the last 5 years, right? So in the review of literature, you need to add only 6 to 10. It can be a 8, it can be a 9, or it can be a 10 pages. There must be a minimum 100 references of all the authors. But if you are using all these authors from the last 10 years, it will not be acceptable. You need to use at least 25% the last 5 years. Suppose this is a 26 is going on, you need to use that from 2000 onwards, from 2020 onwards, you know, 25%. So it will make your study more impactful, that you have just taken the last year studies, the previous studies, which will be very fruitful for you. So you can identify what is the research gap is already, right? Only relevant research paper related to the topic chosen by you should be included. You know what happens sometimes when the student start writing, they use the unnecessary or irrelevant review of literature, right? You should not do all these things. When you just wanted to do a good work, you need to just add which is related to your topic. No matter there is a books, no matter there is a research paper, no matter whatsoever it is, but it should be related to your study, right? The research paper, the books, and the other study also. And in the text, give surname of the author and the year only. I told you, you need to understand. So when you're just writing your review of literature, you need to add the author name and the year only. If there are two, you need to add the surname. If there is more than two, you can use the et al. If more than two authors, they should be referred with the surname of first author, only with the word of et al. I have already told you, and the et al. Should be italics. It should be the italic words. Next, a review of literature should be in the form of connected story format. The reader should be able to read it continuity. When you just wanted to write your review of literature, then it should be a story form. When it is a story form, it would be good for you and the reviewer who is reading that review of literature, because if it is a connected story, it would be able to learn easily. It would be able to understand what you are just going to say and why you read your study here, right? Or it may be written in the chronological order also. Sometimes we feel it should be a chronological order or not. So it can be in the chronological order also if the subject matter requires of the chronology events. Suppose that if you're just talking about a particular history, then it can be only the chronological order. So and so year this happened, so and so year this happened, and this time it is happening. Suppose that if you just want to do some comparison also, okay. And do not copy paste. No need to do the copy paste what the work has been done by others. You will have to just write it in your own words, because you will have to create here a particular story, kind of a story. So read the abstract. And how will you do that? You need to just read the abstract. You need to just summary of the research paper. Carefully you need to write and present. You can just write it in your own words in 2-3 sentences or in a paragraph. So it will be good for you that how to write a review of literature. If you will read the abstract of that particular topic, you will be able to understand what is their objective, what is their research methodology, what is their objective, and what is their conclusion. So you can just mention in a story form. Okay, clear? Next. If many authors have found a similar result or conclusion, all may be clubbed together. Sometimes we study the research paper or books. So they, 2, 3 authors are saying the same things. Then you don't need to repeat every time that this author so and so, this author say so and so. You need to write in your story form. You can add the name and the year of all the authors. So the finding may be summarized in 2, 3 sentences, and name of the author may be given in the bracket with the year. That is very important, because when you are just writing in a bracket the author name and the year, it would be able to clearly show that you have just taken to the recent study, right? So the review of literature should be included, the summary of all the information which is available, and that should be related to your topic, what the topic you have choose. Next, there is a research gap. Now, the point is, how will you find the research gap? When you are just studying your review of literature, you are working on the review of literature, you have clearly idea what the topic has been chosen by you, what the work has been done by other authors, what is the exactly gap, what they didn't study. Now you will have to fill that gap. So it would be good for you to find out the gap. Now you can add it as your questions, research questions. So before selecting your title, when you start studying the research paper or the books which is work done by others, so that time you can understand what is the gap is there. So the research gap in the literature should be identified and be given in the review of literature in the bullet points. Whatever has been done by others, there is some gap. You will have to just find out or pick up that gap. You will have to just read your synopsis in the bullet points that they have done so and so work, but this gap is not filled by them. So now what will be here? Whatever you just wanted to do in your research, that means it is clearly given by you that this work is done by others, but these gaps are remaining. I just wanted to fill this gap. I just wanted to do my research on these topics, on these particular bullet points. So this will be the primary based on the review of literature, what is required to be achieved to know about the topic of the research. That means now it would be clear what is the, firstly you will have to choose the title, then you will have to do your introduction part, which would include 1 to 2 pages that should be properly cited. There must be an author name and the year. If there is 2 or more authors, then you need to use the et al. If 2 authors, then you can add the surname of that author. Very first. Next, review of literature. That means you will have to mention as a story form what is the work done by the others. Whatever the work done by others, then definitely there is some gaps. You will have to just find out that particular gap. And here in the research gap, you need to just write in a bullet points. Next, the very important, that is objectives. Objective, what is the objective? Objective which shows what the work you are going to do. Why you choose this study. Objective always reflect that your study is really worth or not. Your objective tells about all these things. So before making your objective, you must clearly known about all these points. The very first one is, it should be well defined by 4 to 6 objectives. in your objective, there must be 4 to 6 objectives. Suppose that you have just taken 1 or 2 objectives. No, you need to just take a 3 and 4 objective. That would be good for your study, right? 4 to 6 objective. The objective and the title of your topic should be synchronized or aligned with each other and should be self-explanatory. Whatever the title you have chosen here, the title and the objective should be aligned, right? What the work you are going to do in your research, that should be represented by your objective. Okay. Next, if a reader reads your title, he or she should be able to understand what you just wanted to do in your research. If I'm just reading your title, I would be able to understand what exactly your aim is, why you choose this topic, what is your objective. So the title and the objective, they must be clearly framed. If a reader reads your objective, he or she should be able to understand the title and the social relevance of your topic also. Initially, when I started to explain about this topic, I told you whatever the title you are just going to select, there must be some social relevance also, right? There must be good for the society, for the national level or the international level. There must be some novelty also. So while drawing your objective, you must keep in mind that there must be an element of research in the objective also. When you are just selecting your topic, you are doing your research, there must be some novelty. No need to whatever the work is already available, you are just doing on that. Novelty, you are just searching something. Research means which is already searched. You are doing research. That is research. When you are just going to do research, that means you are just finding something new. You are getting the new information. You are going to tell about the topic, the something new which is not known by others. Sure, that becomes your duty, that you will have to just find out the new things in your research, that it will be very impactful. So the objective, whatever the research gap you have just find out there, it should be filled by your objective. Clear? Whatever the research gap you have find out on the basis of the previous studies, on the basis of the review of literature, that research gap should be filled by you in your objective. So it should be your objective, which should be 4 to 6 objective, which should be aligned with your title, which should be the social relevance. There must be some novelty, and the important, whatever the research gap you have just find out through on the previous study, you need to just fill that gap. That should be a filler. What is the gap? What is your title? You need to just do a fill the gap. Next, now the important, that is the research methodology. As you know, this is a national seminar, 10 days national seminar, which you have announced. That is really very great and impactful for all the research scholars. So this is the main and the important point of this research, that is the research methodology. So the research methodology should be in detail in the research design. It is just like a roadmap. You have choose any title. There must be some research designing. There must be including in your what types of study you are just going to do. What would be your sample size? What would be the data collection tools? What would be your analysis technique? Right? Suppose that, for example, you just wanted to do on the informal sector, right? Informal sector is a sector which is unorganized, right? For we have just taken like agriculture, domestic servants, construction worker, petty traders. So how would you go into that study? Because India is very large. So in your study, in your research methodology, you will have to just explain which area you are just going to be select. You are just going to be select the UP, in a UP, or which district. If it is Dehradun, If it is Uttarakhand, then which location you are just going to choose. So research methodology should be very clear. You would be able to understand what the work you are going to do and what all are your steps, like research designing, what is your types of study, what would be your sample size, how will you collect the data. You will collect the data through the primary sources or the secondary sources, and it depends on your title also. If I'm just talking about the informal sector, that means you can collect the primary data, right? If you just wanted to do work on any literature or any survey, that means you will have to get the records of the information, or any other annual reports. So it depends on your research also, that um, what the tools you are just going to use. What will be your data sources? It would be the primary or it would be the secondary. Okay, that's right. And explain how will you achieve your objective. Suppose that you have chosen the three objective. In the research methodology, you will have to tell that how you will achieve all these objective also. What will be your location area? What will be your sample size? How will you collect the data? It would be based on the questionnaire, on the observation, or it would be based on the interview also. What will be your collection strategy? How will you collect your questionnaires? Achha, one more thing. Suppose that you just wanted to do some research and that would be your primary, right? So your title should be aligned with your objective and your questionnaire should be aligned with your objective, right? Your title should be aligned with your objective. That means what the work you are going to do, that should be reflected by your objective, and your questionnaire should be related to your objective. That means, just suppose that I told you that about informal sector, right? The domestic servant. The domestic servant, we just wanted to do the study on a female domestic servants, what is their salary, how they are surviving, how many hours they are working, how they just take care of their children, and what will be their income on the daily wages, right? So that question should be there in your questionnaire. If you just wanted to know what is their daily wages, what is their income, so that question should be in your questionnaire. You are just working on their wages, but that question, it is not in your questionnaire. Then how can you say that you have asked this question and you are just getting the exact result, the exact data you have? Sometime when the time of the final viva voce or the during the pre-seminar, this question can be raised, or your at the time of the final viva voce or at the time of your evaluation of the thesis, your external expert, they can ask for your questionnaire also, that you did not mention this question. Then how can you say that you have worked on the primary data and you have asked them? That means you have just fabricated the data, है ना? But you don't need to do any fabrication. If it is based on the primary data, then you can ask the questions. Maybe interview, maybe questionnaire. My point is this, it must be aligned with your objective. If you just want to do your research, so your objective should be aligned with your questionnaire. Whatever the question you have asked, it should be already mentioned. Sometimes what happened, the question number 2, is it aligned with your objective or not? So and so your objective. So this question, it is not there in your questionnaire. How did you do that? When you have idea before doing your research, then you can just take care all these points initially. You can mention all these points initially in your questionnaire. Is it clear? You will distribute data analysis techniques you will employ. This is a critical part of the research synopsis. It demonstrates whether your project is achievable or too ambitious. You know, your research methodology should be very clear. what will be your sample size, what will be the data techniques, how will you analyze your data, what the techniques you are going to use. It should be clearly mentioned. It should not be done that initially you have just mentioned that SPSS or ANOVA and the R and everything you have just written. You have written so many other things, but at last, what is going to be happen? You did not use all these things. And this question can be raised that you have just mentioned all these things. So before doing that, you need to just take care what will be your exact roadmap, how will you collect your data, what will be your sample size, which area you are just going to do your research. And important thing, sometimes what happened that if I have just given you the informal sector example, suppose there is a RDC of a student and we are just asking that why did you choose this UP? Why did you choose the Meerut? They will say, this is a very convenient place for me, so that's why I have chosen. It happens with the many of the students, but actually this is not a convenient and that is not an exact reply. You need to say or you need to choose that place which is already required for the research, where you will find out the more and more domestic servant. So your external expert will accept your answer. Otherwise, he or she will say the research is not based on your convenience, right? The research is required something to find out the something new, something novelty. It is not based on your convenience. That means the whatever the result or the outcome you will give us, they will not be acceptable. They would be fabricated. Now the next is material and equipment used, their trade name, model, manufacturer details, sites of investigation, sample, survey sample, design details of respondent. It should be included in your methodology. Whatever you are just going to use, that should be there. Survey methodology should also be there. Tools you are going to use, that should be mentioned. Statistical methods, where what you are just going to use, that should be mentioned there. In case you are a science students, or you need to add some procedure, you need to add some technique also. So detailed protocol to be used for investigation. The proposed research work, that should be included the protocol used by the higher agency. There is a science stream students, they have some different research work, they need to add all this because they just hired the third agency also for getting the results, for searching something. So you need to add all these sources also, no matter the sources are related to the national level or the international level. You need to just mention all the sources from where you are just going to take help, from where you are just going to take your data, data for collecting the data help, right? So in the methodology in synopsis, there must be a future sentences and key proper protocol. What happened in synopsis? Because you will just do your work in future, right? And what happened? Student will take the thesis of the other students, and thesis that would be right in the past tense, right? And in synopsis, you will add to add it in the future tense. You need to just careful about this. In a synopsis, you are just going to do work in the future. In the thesis, you have already done your work. So you need to just take careful about this. It should be in future tense only. Okay. And the questionnaire should match all the objective as I already discussed with you. It should be aligned. Is so and so your objective. You have already mentioned this question in your questionnaire. You get the answer from the respondent so and so, and on the basis of that, you have just analyzes your data. So data analysis, the statistical tools, whatever you are going to use, you need to add in your research methodology. If there is some sectorization, then the chapterization should be as per your faculty, as per your subject, because science stream is a different, humanities it's a different. So that can be different one. Okay. Now the point is bibliography, which is very important. Bibliography and the references. Is there any difference between the bibliography and the references? Anyone can tell me? Okay. So in the bibliography, at last, whatever the references you have given in the text, right? As I told you initially, there is an author name and the year. You need to mention all these references at last in your bibliography. Okay? It should be there in the bibliography. It should be in the alphabetically order, A, B, C, D. It should be the APA style. And what is the APA style references? That is the surname of a author. There must be initials of that. If there is a second author, you need to add the surname of that author also. Then the name of that author. Then there is a title of the paper, right? Then there is a name of the journal. What is the volume of the journal? Then at last there must be a page number. Okay, so that is the APA 70 style edition, which you need to add in your synopsis. Is it clear? And whatever the text citation you have given in your synopsis, no matter it is in your introduction part, your research methodology part, your review of literature, okay, or anywhere, you need to give all these references at last in the bibliography. Initially, when I was just discussing with you, no need to add the number, avoid the numbering. I told you, na, 1, 2, 3, 4, you need to just avoid. What the reason behind that? Suppose that you have just given the numbering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Somehow you will have to, suppose that you have just added only 20 reference. I will ask you, oh, 20 references are not sufficient. You need to add minimum the 100 references, okay? Or the 50 references should be there. Now that would be the biggest problem for you. It would be a biggest challenge because you have already given the numbering of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And again, now you will have to give the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the 100. It will take a lots of time. So what would be your strategy? You need to give the name of the author and the year only. And at last, it would be the A to Z. Because if you will give the numbering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it will take so many time. You cannot get increase the number of references because it will take again the lots of time. So initially you need to just take care. You need to give the name of the year, the name of the author and the year in the bracket. Okay. Clear? So now it is clear that why you should avoid the numbering, why you need to give the author name and the year. Am I audible? Anyone can tell me, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for your response. Okay. And the next is in the running matter, Times New Roman font should be the 12 for the heading, and the font size should be the 14 to be. You need to use the Times New Roman. It is clear. Please consult your facilitator for detailed understanding and the preparation of the synopsis. Sometime what happened? There is some other methods for it depends on the university to university. So that's why I have mentioned you need to just consult with your facilitator for understanding that what is their procedure for preparing all this. Okay, and you need to just prepare it in the normal way, whatever the university format. You maybe it is a spiral binding, maybe it is not a spiral binding. So that's why I have mentioned you need to just consult your facilitator or your supervisor. What is the procedure for your university? And there must be signature on each and every page for the supervisor and the scholar. And avoid the numbering, as I told you. you need to arrange in the alphabetically order. That would be more good for you. Just if you want to just increase the number of bibliography or the references, or you just wanted to reduce the number of bibliography or references, you can do it normally, right? And and you need to just take care whatever the citation you have given in the text, all all the authors and the years, that means all the references should come in the bibliography. Sometime what happened, they just check, okay, he has given the author, that is a Alvish. To initially they just checked in the bibliography, it is there or not. So that means they check that it is not there, then there must be some correction. So before submitting that synopsis, you need to just take care. So give your references, minimum 75 to 100. Why I've just mentioned these things? Because that would be depend on your procedure of the university. I don't know, they will accept the 30, they would accept the 50, they will accept the 75. But you need to just check that what is the procedure of that university, or the minimum you, I think you need to use the minimum 50. Okay, rest is depend on your procedure of the university. And 50% or the 25% of the bibliography should be the last 5 years. That means 2026 it is going on. So the last 5 years, approximately 2020, you need to add all these authors, all the work done by the authors, that should be mentioned in your bibliography. Okay, or whatever the correction that was given by your supervisor, given by your some other colleagues, or in your DRC, there is a departmental research committee also. You need to just follow all these things. You need to just correct all these corrections. And finally, at the time of your RDC, whatever the suggestion given by your external expert, you need to add all these correction, and you need to just submit your synopsis. So at a glance, I just wanted to clear this thing. There must be a important, the title page, it should be the clear, informative and concise. What would be your title page? There must be a certificate if there is a sum based on your university rules. There must be a table of content with the page number. There is a abstract synopsis summary, a brief overview, whatever the work you are just going to do. Introduction, what should be there in the introduction? We have already discussed. Background of the research area, problem statement, identify the gap in the current knowledge, significance, why the research work is important, because that is very important. Na? Why you choose this topic. Sometimes this question can be arise in your DRC or the RDC. You need to just mention this. Why your research is important, why you choose this topic. Okay, so you must have the relevant answer that why you choose this topic. And as I told you in the research methodology, they will ask that why, in which place you are just going to study. You said that Meerut or the nearby Meerut area, surrounding of the Meerut area. If you will say like this, they will say why you choose this, and you will say because that is very nearby to my place, nearby to my home. That will not be acceptable, because the research is not the convenient based on your convenience or the nearby area. It is required a particular place where is actually need for the research, actually need for the novelty. You know, that time you will just find out the something new, which is something new, which is not done by others. You will just find out all these conclusions, all these new important, which will be fruitful for the society as well. So literature review, critical appraisal of the existing research, highlight what missing, aims and objective, which I told you, broad goal and a specific measurable objective, research questions. Then hypothesis. Hypothesis, that means prediction to be tested. Maybe you can use your hypothesis, maybe you cannot use your hypothesis. That is totally used based on your work. Mainly you just wanted to test it or not, right? And in the methodology, there is a study, type, area, sample size should be there, data collection, tools and techniques. Data analysis and the methods. Maybe there is a qualitative, maybe there is a quantitative. Whatever the data you are going to use, you need to just mention. There is a primary data or the secondary data. Maybe there is a qualitative, there is a quantitative. You need to mention in your research methodology. Research methodology should be very clear. So your roadmap would be clear that how you just wanted to do your work, right? And there must be an expected outcome. That means what is the new knowledge? What is the new solution will come in your synopsis, will come from your thesis. And if you just wanted to do something on your pets, on the animals, or any other like living things, you need to take the ethical consideration also. So in the university or some other places from where you have done your research work, there is an ethical committee. They will just give you a particular certificate on which you will be helpful for collecting a data, and ethical committee will consider that your topic is required for the ethical certificate also. Okay. And the references and the bibliography, a list of the cited sources in a standard format. And the standard format is APA, reference style, which I told you. So list of the publication, if you have, if it is required by your university, right? You can just mention. So I told you that how would you write your synopsis, how your work will be very effective. So you need to just take care of very first thing. Your title should be innovative. Your title should be novel, and you need to just check before selecting the title it is not under the plagiarism, because there is a Gangotri and the Shodh Ganga, and after completing your research work it would be uploaded there. Now no one can hide their research work, everyone can check on an open platform. So there is a Shodh Ganga and the Gangotri. There is a synopsis. You can just find out the synopsis of the other candidates. You can just find out the thesis of the other research scholars. And so you need to just take care about all these points when you just select your title, your review of literature. Before selecting the title, you need to read what is the work done by others. What is the gap? How will you make your research work more impactful? What will be the research gap? How will you fill that gap? So all these points will be considered before choosing your topic, your title, introduction, review of literature, research methodology, your data collections, data interpretation, expected outcome. This is all are the important topics. Here, I just wanted to discuss with you, because the time is there. In short, I just wanted to discuss with you the presentation of synopsis. Do you really want or not? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We are glad to.
So till now, I just wanted to know the topic is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So there is a presentation of synopsis. If you want, then I can just discuss with you this topic. Otherwise, not.
You do proceed, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. So I told you that how to write, but now the point is, how can you present your synopsis in a very effective way? So how will you present? There must be a title of your synopsis in your PPT, right? A synopsis is going to be submit for the registration, your name, your degree, your faculty, your name, your supervisor name, your university name, and the year should be there, right? That should be your very first one page, your title page. Then there must be a slides of your introduction parts. You need to use the bullet points only. 8 to 10 sentences in the telegraphic language or any times New Roman language, because what you just wanted to say, that should be reflected in your PPT. It should be clear. So introduction, the topic of the audience in brief. You need to just explain it brief. It should be clearly visible. Definition of the topic, whatever the topic you have chosen and why you choose this topic, audience should be able to know about the topic. The introduction may include why did you select the topic. As I told you, that is very important. Many of the RDC, many of the DRC, many of the person will ask you why you choose this topic. What is the reason behind that? Why it is not been chosen by others? This time you will give the proper reply that you have choose this topic because it is required for the society, for the national level, and I'm interested in this topic. I just wanted to do something new for the society, so that's why I select this topic. Okay. Next, significance of this study. You choose this topic, then what is the significance? Then you need to mention the significance of your study, what is the social impact, what is the national and the international importance of the topic also, and what is the research question to be addresses. What is the research question will be arise, because there is a question, then there will be answer. Right now, when there is a title, there is an objective. When there is a research question, then you will have to just give them reply, and there must be some expected outcome. Now the point is review of literature. What we have already discussed, it should be in the bullet points. Give one sentence summary of the most important research paper. You must know what the work has been done by others. Your external expert can ask you, do you really study about the latest research paper who has done on this work? Then you must know any one research paper also. Sir, I have studied so-and-so research paper. On the basis of this, I just wanted to do my work because I just found it the particular research gap. So I just wanted to make this fill through my research work. Okay, so may use 2-3 slides, which is important. You need to use the references, and or you can use such type of a table also, the serial name, authors, year, and the summary. Okay. Then the research gap, which I have already discussed, whatever the work is done by others, but they leave some gap. You will have to just pick that research gap. So here you will just mention on the bullet points, identify what is the research gap on the basis of the studies done by others. And the research gap should be identified in a such way that this should be basis on your objective. Yeah, this is your research gap, and you will fulfill this research gap on the basis of this objective. And it should be aligned with your objective also, your research gap and your objectives. Objective, how should be the objective? Objective should be 3-4 objective. There should be a proper, which should be clearly shown what the work you have done. Or if there are any suggestions given by your DRC, given by your experts, you need to add all these objectives here, right? And you must be careful in your presentation. Your synopsis and your presentation should be the same. That means you have just written your synopsis, that's so and so objective. But when you're just going to present your synopsis, you did not make some correction because we just forget it and so something. No, there is a DRC. In RDC, suppose they have just told you about some correction, you have just done the correction, but you did not make those correction changes in your PPTs. So it would be very shameful situation for you, right? So whatever the correction you have made in your synopsis, that should be in your PPT also. Methodology. So the research methodology, it requires 2-3 slides only. No need to add the more and more slide because there is a synopsis presentation. So give name, the methods with the author and the year, whatever you are just going to use of the previous research paper of the previous study, the research methodology. If you are going to use any questionnaire structure, you need to add all these questionnaires. You need to add the protocols or the modification of the data techniques you have used. You need to add the analysis of the data, statistical methods, tool, which is going to be used by you. So keep in mind that in research methodology, you need to give the brief. So the audience will be able to understand what methods, what equipment, what data analysis techniques you are just going to be used. If you are from the science background, you need to add your chemicals, right? Whatever the equipments. So in last, at the conclusion part, I can say synopsis writing is a very important steps for research project. You are just going to do any research project, but for doing that research, firstly, you will have to tell how will you say that on the basis of your synopsis that I just wanted to do that. Suppose that your research idea is very good, right? But you are not able to represent your idea. So it will not be approved. How it will be approved? When you will write it in an effective way. When it will be reflect whatever the idea you have, you are just going to do in your research, you will have to do that on that paper. On which paper? On synopsis report, right? So a good synopsis will give you the minimum information in the minimum words, maximum information in a minimum words. As I have told you, there are 2-3 pages are required or 4-5 pages are required. No need to use the 100 pages synopsis. No need to use the 500 pages. If it is concise, if it will give the proper information, that it will be sufficient. But there must be what? Maximum information in a minimum words. A well-conceived synopsis will go for a long in the convincing the reviewer about the ability of the researcher to conduct a project. Whatever the idea in your mind, there is a team, there is an external expert, they will click what is your idea, and you will definitely get the response from others also. Yeah. Okay, so you will get the fund also. If your research idea is good, then you can get the fund also, but that should be in a proper way. Whatever the idea you have, you will have to just represent in a proper manner. So that's why here I am here to describe about how to write your effective synopsis, how to present your, sometime what happened, we have just prepared a very good synopsis, but we are not able to represent it. But I just wanted to make you prepare for both how to write a synopsis and how to present your synopsis also, right? And in case you need any financial assistance, then definitely you will be get it. But how will you get it? On the basis of presenting your synopsis. So at last, I can say all the research worker should make effort to prepare a well-structured synopsis that would be for you good, and for me that if you will be able to understand that how to write a effective synopsis. So thank you everyone, thank you. At last I would like to say उद्यमेन ही सिद्ध्यन्ति कार्याणि च मनोरथा नहि शुप्तस्य सिंहस्य प्रविशन्ति मुखे मृगा. यानी कि अगर आप अपना काम को करना चाहते हैं, आगे बढ़ना चाहते हैं, तो दैट मीन्स यू विल हैव टू डू सम वर्क, क्योंकि सोते हुए सिंह के मुख में भी कोई मृग अपने आप नहीं जाता है. So thank you everyone, thank you for your cooperation, thank you for your support. इसीलिए फूलों की तरह मुस्कुराते रहिए, भंवरे की तरह गुनगुनाते रहिए, और चुप रहने से उदास हो जाते हैं रिश्ते भी, चुप रहने से उदास हो जाते हैं रिश्ते भी. इसीलिए कुछ हमारी सुनिए और कुछ अपनी सुनाते रहिए. थैंक यू.
क्या बात है, क्या बात.
Thank you sir, thank you very much.
थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू. और लास्ट में आपने कोटेशन दिखाई दिए. बहुत अच्छे मैम, बहुत अच्छी तरीके से आपने समझाया, और इससे और आसान तरीका नहीं हो सकता था. मीडियम आपने इंग्लिश चूज किया, ये ऑल ओवर इंडिया के लिए बेनिफिशियल रहा, क्योंकि इस प्लेटफॉर्म पर ऑल ओवर इंडिया से लोग जुड़े हुए हैं. हिंदी भाषी तो अच्छी तरीके से समझ ही लेते हैं, लेकिन कई बार ऐसा होता है कि साउथ इंडियन कुछ लोगों को हिंदी नहीं आती है, तो वो कई बार बोलते रहते हैं कि सर हम लोगों को कुछ समझ आया, कुछ नहीं आया. सो इट वंडरफुल मैम. और आपने जिस तरीके से समझाया है, मुझे लगता है सभी को बहुत पसंद आया होगा, खासकर हमारे रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स को. मुझे अच्छा लगेगा अगर कुछ रिसर्च स्कॉलर वीडियो ऑन करके मैम को कुछ बताएं, आप मैम ने जिस तरीके से समझाया.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you for your motivation, and you are always inspiration for me. And really, this is a very nice platform that you have given me a chance to share my views about this. Because nowadays, the students are facing such problems. They are not getting exact idea. They have an idea, but they cannot write. Sometimes they feel such type of problem. There must be some communication gap and all. So that's why I have choose this topic, because when we talked the last time and suddenly you just call me, okay, ma'am, will you be able to for the lecture and all? So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
So thank you so much, ma'am, from my behalf. And with that, you insisted on with that wonderful Sanskrit quote that hard work is the key to success. And this is the only way. There is no shortcut at all. So now the floor is open for everybody. You can ask your queries directly, or you can just write in the chat box.
मैम आई वांटेड टू नो कि जब हम प्रेजेंटेशन करते हैं अपना सिनॉप्सिस का, तो उसमें इंट्रोडक्शन का, अगर इंट्रोडक्शन में आई थिंक आई मिस दैट स्लाइड, जो इंट्रोडक्शन में क्या होना चाहिए.
अच्छा, आप बीच में गायब हो गए थे.
तो मेरा बेटा बार बार आ जाता है, उसको बताना पड़ता है कि ये कर लो, वो कर लो. उसकी छुट्टियां चल रही हैं, बार बार गायब कर देता है वो मुझे.
कोई बात नहीं, बाद में आप देख लीजिएगा मैम. वैसे ये बड़ा पार्ट था, शॉर्ट में अगर मैम बताना चाहें.
So in your introduction part, you will have to give.
नहीं मैम, मैंने ना सिनॉप्सिस जो रिटन मैटर है दैट आई हैव अंडरस्टूड, बट इन द प्रेजेंटेशन लाइक देयर आर टू थिंग्स, तो हाउ आई प्रेजेंट टू द पैनल, तो उस प्रेजेंटेशन में इंट्रोडक्शन में क्या क्या पॉइंटर्स आने हैं.
Just a minute, I will help you again. If you just want that slide, then I will show you. Yeah, right, this one?
हाँ जी मैम.
Yeah. So firstly, when you are just going to present your synopsis, in the introduction part, there must be bullet points, right? 8 to 10 sentences are sufficient. 1 or 2 slides are sufficient for you. There must be an introduction of your audience in brief. The work you are just going to do, that must be clearly mentioned, right? That is your work that should be done. Okay, and the definition of the topic. Suppose that you have just taken a sustainable development, you have just taken an informal sector or anything else. There must be a one definition of that topic, right? That should be clear. And the audience should be able to know about the topic. Whatever you are just going to speak, yeah, whatever you are just going clear, right? No need to mention the any other language or any other sentences or any other words. That should be a clear and the concise. My aim is to just to give you the information, and you aim just to receive this information. So the communication should be clear between you and between me. That means you just wanted to do the research on this topic. That is your introduction part. You will have to tell them, this is my introduction. This is the definition of my topic, and it should be clearly understandable to the audience. And introduction may include, why did you choose or select this topic in the introduction part? Because discussion can be arise by them. So you need to tell in the introduction part why I choose this topic, because that is the relevant to the society, that is the relevant to the national level, that is relevant to the international level, and because of so and so reason, I choose this topic. So these all topics should be covered in your introduction part.
Yeah, thank you ma'am.
There is a
Also,
query in the chat
yeah.
box. So, Malvi, go ahead, please.
So कोई भी मैम स्लाइड में while presenting हमें research gap नहीं बताना है.
I told you, there is a significance of the study, review of literature, research gap is there.
Okay.
I told you, research gap
And
is there.
chapterization नहीं करना है.
chapterization, it is, I told you, it is up to the procedure of the university, whether they mention it or not. I just told you about the chapterization also. Sometime they want, sometime they don't want. So that is totally depend on the university procedure also. You need to just take care what is the documentation of the university. There is some templates, there is some format of the synopsis. So
Okay.
if it is mentioned in the format, you need to add.
Okay, ma'am. And that table of reference that you had mentioned in the review of literature,
Yeah. Because that would be very convenient for you to prepare this, and the audience can check it truly that there is a author's year and the summary, what they have done in that work, right? So
so
that would be
summary
good for
needs
you.
to have just the topic of the research that the authors have
Summary,
done.
that means what is the topic, what the work have they done, what is the crux of their research work,
Okay.
what is the crux.
अच्छा मतलब जो उनका findings है वो.
Yes.
Okay. ठीक है. Thank you.
Ma'am, there is a query in chat box. It's from
Yes.
Abhinandan, and he is asking, ma'am, full synopsis will be of how many pages? And for presentation, also, how many pages should be there? I guess he is referring to slides here.
Okay. For preparing a synopsis or for presentation?
Ma'am, he's asking question for both. Ma'am, full synopsis will be of how many pages? And for
Okay.
presentation, also how many pages should be there?
Okay. So thank you, Abhinandan, for asking this question. I know that you have just listened all the session very carefully. So you are just asking. And you know that your synopsis, I would like to say, it totally depends on your university format also. Very first thing, whatever they're asking by your university formats, maybe they are asking the chapterization, maybe they are asking the any other annexures which is mentioned, like your publications or like your ethical concern or anything else. If I'll talk about it, it should be the minimum 50 pages. That would be sufficient, because I have mentioned one quotation, that is the maximum information in the minimum words. So 50 to 70 pages are enough. And for presentation, if I talk about the presentation of your synopsis, that means whatever the work you have done in your synopsis, that should be reflected in your presentation. So on each and every topic, you can take hardly two, 3 slides. Like introduction part, you can take 1 slide. Okay, in a significance of a study, that can be 1 slide. Research gap, that can be 1 slide. Objective can be a 1 slide. If there are 4 to 6 objectives are there, that should be the bullet point also, because you will just explain your point. Research methodology can be on the 2, 3 slides, right? And uh, after that, there would be your expected conclusions. And you can give at last some bibliography, that I have just taken so and so studies. I have mentioned the last 5 years study in my synopsis. Though that would be very effectively shown in your presentation, that you have already searched something, you have already worked on your title, you have already find out something new, the new novelty, the new things. You just wanted to do something which is different from others. And the important, you need to add that why did you choose this topic in your PPT. Okay, and when they will ask how your research will be contribute to the society, you must be prepared that I have chosen this topic for so and so reason, and it would be good for this society. So that's why I'm just doing the work. Only so and so work is done in the so and so year. So this table will be able to help you in this year. I have just checked कि so and so work has happened only this year, not in this year. So I just wanted to do my study on this topic. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. I guess his
Ma'am,
query must be solved.
Yeah,
I
sure,
have
sure.
another question.
Yeah.
And actually, I have it from both sir and ma'am. Um, तो सर ने जैसे अपना इंट्रोडक्शन दे रहे थे, आई थिंक ही मेंशन दैट प्रपोज टाइमलाइंस भी होनी चाहिए इन द सिनॉप्सिस. सो इज
Yes,
दैट
yes.
अ मैंडेट?
No, that is not mandatory. In one slide, I have just mentioned this thing. There must be a timeline. Timeline, that means, suppose that if you just wanted to do some work, there must be some timeline, right? You have given a 3 years. So first year, you will just complete your research, your coursework. There will be your some examination, right? Then there will be your DRC. Your department will conduct the DRC. Then there will be your RDC. Then after completing the 6 month, there will be your report. You will have to just give them research report. You will have to just submit after 6 months. So timeline, that means it should be prepared for yourself only. In so and so month, first 6 month, yeah, in 8 month, 9 month, I will just collect the data. I will just refine that data. Okay, I will just put it into the Excel. I will start to do my analysis work in so and so period. The timeline would be for yourself only, because the university time is only 3 years. You can just submit your thesis in 6 years, in 3 years only. If you will not be able to submit your thesis in the 3 years, then you will have to pay some extra fees. Some extra,
Ma'am,
extra
matlab, this is
to be
not a
charged.
part of the synopsis. It's just
No,
for
exactly,
yourself.
exactly. It is not the part of the synopsis, but if you just wanted to give your timeline, in the first 6 months, I will just collect the data. In the next 6 months, I will just work on the review of literature. In the next 6 months, I will do the data analysis. It totally depends on you.
Okay.
That is your roadmap only. And the next thing is, maybe it is in the format of your synopsis of your university. Might be they are asking, that is mentioned in the format of the university. What will be your timeline? You have a 3 years. What you will do in the first 6 months? What you will do in the next 6 months? What you will do in the next to next 6 months? Might be there is their timeline. So you need to just check the format of your university for the synopsis.
एंड मैम एक और टॉपिक था जो शायद सर ने मेंशन किया था कि स्कोप एंड लिमिटेशंस, तो वो हमें सिनॉप्सिस के टाइम पे पता होंगे
Scopes
लिमिटेशंस
will,
कैसे?
okay. There is some inclusion criteria or exclusion criteria. You know about that?
Inclusion, like what all can you include in the synopsis
Yes,
and what
yes, yes,
you
yes,
don't
yes.
have to write? Yeah.
Yes, yes. Inclusion criteria, exclusion
Yes.
criteria.
Yes.
So there are some limitations also. So when you start about your research methodology, you need to add the inclusion criteria. Suppose that if I have just given you an example of the informal sector, I'm talking about the domestic servant. That means I'm just talking about the which particular age group. I'm talking about the 16 to 50 only, right? This age group only. Or I can say I'm just working on 20 to 25 age group only, because I just wanted to check ki in this age group, are they work in a domestic servant or they are just doing a study. For example, you have seen in those who are the domestic servant, they just want to they don't want to get them started. They just want that their student will not come in this particular line. They will study.
Okay.
Right?
तो वो
They
हमारा
will do
लिमिटेशन हो
something.
गया.
Yes, yes. They just wanted to do some other work, right? Not the domestic servant. Maybe there is a work from home, maybe there is any office work, and many things. So that all things will come under your limitations. Okay. And it totally depends on your inclusion and the exclusion criteria.
Right.
So, ma'am, to just up whatever research we are doing, that's the whole thing. Synopsis is a semi-miniature, and the presentation which we are going to present in the RDC is the miniest, the smallest form of our research, right?
This is a very important task, right? On the basis of your synopsis, on the basis of your presentation, your topic will be accepted or your topic will be rejected. So that's why we have just taken this session, that how your research should be so effective. That is a very important task. When you will not take the very first step, how will you get your goal?
Correct, correct.
You cannot say that is a minimum or the very short step. It is a very important step.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, there is a query from Pramod Goyalji. The question is how to prepare for research proposal questions.
How to prepare your research proposal.
Questions, ma'am.
Okay. As I told you, there is a review of literature part is there. The very first one is introduction, then there is a review of literature. When you will study, the work is done by other, there must be some gap will be there, right? You will have to just find out that gap. Then you will have to just prepare your research question. Am I right? He's asking about the research question now?
Proposal questions.
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
research questions. Yes. So you can just prepare your research question on the basis of that gap. What is your research question is? I just wanted to check there is a domestic servant. Those they are not treating properly. They are not treating properly. They are facing some other issues. You can understand in a home or any other things. So that would be your questions, right? So when you will just make a questionnaire, you can ask to your respondent, what is the behavior of your madam and the sir, how they treat you. They give you any gifts or any sweets on the Diwali occasion, or they don't give you. Okay, so this is how you will prepare your research questions.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, one more query is there, the chat box. It's from
Yeah,
Saurabh
sure.
Sharma, Delhi. It's from Saurabh Sharma, Delhi. Ma'am,
Yes,
how
yes.
to select the topic? Whatever we choose is somewhere that already exists. So how to decide the topic with respect to commerce scholar?
Okay. That is really very important question, because I have just given my more emphasis that how to select a topic, and that should be a novel. So for selecting that topic, I told you that you need to just Google it. That is the work is done on that topic or not. If the work is already done, right? That means you will have to just read the other work done by other. The review of literature will help you out that what is the gap is there, राइट सपोज जैसे मैंने कहा कि अभी इनफॉर्मल सेक्टर में हमने अभी एक एग्जांपल दिया डोमेस्टिक सर्वेंट का, तो हम देख रहे हैं कि यहाँ डोमेस्टिक सर्वेंट कितनी उनकी अर्निंग है, राइट? तो हमने देखते हैं कि जितने भी स्टडी हैं दे ऑल आर वर्क ऑन देयर remuneration only, they have worked their salary only, but they did not find out what is the government is there any government policy, is there any government policy, and what is the behavior of their students, right? And what is the work done by others, that totally depends on you. Suppose that you have just selected topic, so firstly you will have to just read the other work done by others again and again. I'm telling you, you will have to read the review of literature, the previous research paper, previous study. Then you will be able to understand what aspect they have covered, what aspect is not covered by them. You need to just find out that aspect only. That would be make your research title, that would be more novel. Okay, might be they have just chosen the one aspect, you can take the other aspect also. Suppose here I'm just talking about the females only, है ना? Only the study is done on the female, so you can just take the both male and the female, right? Maybe you can just choose there is a age group that is uh, 15 to 30 only, but you can just take the 60 up to 60 also, you can just take. So you can just work on the large area, you can take the any other location also. So for selecting that title, you will have to just read the previous research paper, the previous research studies. Then you will be able to know what is the work is not done by others that would be good for you, just to find out the novelty. The novelty is required. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other queries?
नमस्ते मैम. हेलो. नमस्ते मैम.
Yes, you may ask your question.
मैम मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि जैसे अपने पीएचडी थीसिस से संबंधित जो टॉपिक है उससे संबंधित रिसर्च पेपर के लिए टॉपिक कैसे चुने?
I think network issue. Ma'am, are you there? Dr. Neha Verma. I think मैम का नेटवर्क शायद चला गया है. मिस्टर राम, आप अपना क्वेश्चन चैट बॉक्स में डाल दीजिए. आपका क्वेश्चन हम आपके व्हाट्सएप से भिजवा दीजिए. उसका आंसर में भी वो दे देंगे. और इट्स टाइम टू मूव अहेड.
Sir Shelfie?
Yes, please.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So now I invite Miss Asha Junjunwala, research scholar, Mahavir University, Meerut, to present the vote of thanks. Asha.
Good evening, everybody. Sir, but जिनको thank करना है वो तो online ही नहीं है.
क्या पता जब आप थैंक कर रहे हो आप वो जुड़ जाए. लेकिन ये हमारी फॉर्मेलिटीज हैं जो कि पूरी करनी ही करनी है. प्लीज गो
हम
अहेड.
YouTube में लाइव है तो YouTube में दिख जाएगा हमको.
हाँ, श्योर.
हाँ जी. Sure, sir. Okay, so जैसे मैम ने एक हिंदी के प्रोवर्ब से फिनिश किया था अपना पूरा स्पीच, वैसे ही मैं एक इंग्लिश के प्रोवर्ब से स्टार्ट करना चाहूंगी. Showing gratitude is one of the simplest yet most powerful things human can do for each other. So we really warmly thank you, ma'am, for a wonderful session on synopsis. And on behalf of Mahavir University and all the participants here, it is my privilege to extend our sincere vote of thanks to you, ma'am, Joint Director and Associate Professor of Swami Vivekanand Subharti University, Meerut, Uttar Pradesh, for conducting such an insightful and enriching workshop on writing a good synopsis. Your vast academic experience over 15 years in teaching, along with your remarkable contributions in the form of books, chapters, research papers, paper presentations, copyrights, FDPs, Swayam courses, and keynote addresses are our depth and clarity of sessions. Here, her systematic explanation, practical guidance, and scholarly approach made the complex process of writing synopsis very simple, structured, and highly understandable. The participants are greatly benefited from your expertise, ma'am, and the emphasis on research, clarity, originality, methodology, and presentation has also valued a lot. Your interaction and real-world examples added immense value and inspired us, we researchers, and the faculty members here. We are truly grateful to you, Dr. Neha, for sparing your valuable time, sharing your rich knowledge, and motivating us towards quality research writing. Once again, we extend our heartfelt thanks and wish you a continued success in all your academic and professional endeavors. I also extend my sincere thanks to Professor Shivpal Singh Sir, Dean of Faculty of Education at Mahavir University, and all the coordinators for their excellent organization, which has made our third day 10-day session so effective and wonderful. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Asha. Now, may I request everyone to kindly stand for the national anthem, marking the formal closure of today's academic session.
So thank you very much. Actually, it was disconnected due to network connectivity. So I just joined again through my mobile. So thank you everyone for your kind cooperation and for your valuable motivation. And seriously, thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. डॉक्टर आशा झुंझुनवाला ने आपका बड़ा अच्छा थैंक्स किया, वो मैं आप तक पहुंचाऊंगा.
Thank you, sir, because there was some network issue, and I'm very happy that students listen very carefully and they ask the question. But sometimes we just think that this is an online session, so students are not listening at all. But really, you have a very wonderful scholars. They listening very carefully.
आपने शुरू से देखा हुआ, more than 100 people, they are research scholar. I think maybe any institutions, principal, director, teachers, many more. All of these participants, they have a very good, keen, enthusiastic learning in research. That's why everyone is listening with you very carefully.
Thank you, and many congratulations for the successful conduction of this 10 days national seminar. Really, this is very fruitful for all the students and all the faculties, those who are connecting with this national seminar. So they are really getting benefit from all these sessions and all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am. Sir. So I please request again to stand for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
थैंक यू एवरीवन। आज बहुत ही अच्छा सेशन था,
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
बहुत अच्छी तरीके से ऑर्गेनाइज भी हुआ है और मैम ने बड़ा अच्छी तरीके से सभी क्वेश्चंस के जवाब दिए हैं। होप नेक्स्ट डे हम फिर एक नए टॉपिक के साथ में उपस्थित होंगे। सो तब तक के लिए गुड बाय, थैंक यू।
Sir,
नेक्स्ट डे।
Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू एवरीवन।
thank you.